It's been said time and time again that we can, if we choose to, control our own destiny. Well, folks, the situation we're in that I hope this book has helped you with. A whole lot of people are spending our destiny. And the difference between them and us is they're working. They're working to achieve the end that they want. And they think we're all disjointed out here. They think we're so fragmented, so separated, that we can't band together and change anything. Can't even fight them. Well, let me give you this. None of us are Democrats. None of us are Republicans. We're not even liberals. We're not even conservatives. We're all Americans. And whether you consider yourself a liberal or a conservative, if you don't have a job, you can't feed your family. And so many people have pet issues that they think is the big issue. Then what's happening is we're constantly pulling apart from each other. And we become divided. And a divided house can't stand. So lay down your issues and do one thing first. Get our government back into our control. Once that's done, then we can go back, and each one of us, some people don't think you need to have driver's license. Some people think you ought to be able to legalize pot. Whatever those issues are, until we get control of the government here, it don't mean nothing. We need representation. They don't have to be smart. They don't even have to be moral. You know what they got to be? Somebody other than the people that are there. Well, you say, Larry, it can't be that simple. Why? Why has everything got to be so complicated? Why have we always got to fall into the trap that they've laid for us? Why are we always looking up at the toilet paper in the tree instead of looking at the ground right in front of us? You see, if you don't want to step on a landmine or a tripwire, if you just look down, you'll see it. But you get caught looking up at that shiny new roll of toilet paper in a tree, and they could put a bear trap below you and you'll step in it. Why? What is so hard about each one of us accepting our responsibility to our families, to our country? Our forefathers said, hey, we did good. We've given you this, and this puppy will hunt. But they said, be vigilant. Be vigilant. Because they knew back then, some of them back then, were people trying to take the government of this country and use it to their own benefit. Yeah. So they warned us, be vigilant. We've become lazy. We've become so caught up in our sitcoms, our reality TV shows, and our football, baseball games that we've gotten lazy. And when our children hurt, when our families hurt because you can't feed them, you can't take care of them, we go, oh, what's wrong? And then you, hearing me, reading this, you feel like there's something wrong with you because you don't have a job. Then you go into depression because you can't take care of your family. And you know it's you, it's something you did. Well, it is something you did. Because you took somewhere in your life's journey, you took your eyes off the ball. I'm here to tell you, Hillary's coming. Bill's going to the UN. The multinational corporations are going to get richer and bigger. And we, the people, are going to become poor and poor. And we're going to become slaves to the very government that is supposed to be serving us. I ask you just to do simple things. I'm not asking you to go out and get yard signs. I'm not asking you to go down, up and down your neighborhood and make neighbors mad at you because you're asking them for a vote for this, that, or the other. I don't need your neighbors. I need you. If you want to take this DVD or the book or VHS or cassette, if you want to get some of them and pass it out to your neighbors, go ahead. It won't be long with this book. If it's anything like the Chronicles, it won't be long until they'll fix it where it's hard to get. Because the truths that I have told you here, history will bear out. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they will bear themselves out. But we can shape and control our destiny if each one of us will walk into the voting box, and when you see a Republican, say no way. When you see a Democrat, say When you see other kinds of parties, say no way. And if there is an independent in that race, vote for them. And then I might say, in the interest of helping to create jobs, get your name on a ballot. Bet a hunch, win a bunch. You win. You might win. But we can start this country back where it's got to go. You say, well, how long have we got, Larry? Because this is 2008, January 29th, 2008. Come January the 29th, which is the day I think the president will be sworn in. 09, not 08, 09. When that president gets sworn in, as I've tried to show you here, it's going to be Hillary. And they know the things that I've told you here. And they'll make sure it happens. Their destiny, the way they want it. And you say, but Larry, we can't get enough people to vote independent. Well, if you read this book or listened or saw what I said, I've told you several times, you got to get off this stupid Revolutionary War. 90% or better didn't even fight. Didn't even care. They were tickled when it won. But I know them. They'd have been tickled if the British had won. Say, well, we were always against those mean old rebels. We don't need that many people. If we can get 1,000 people in the next few months on the ballots, running as independents from constable to whatever, it'll look like a landslide. It'll look like a fad. It'll look like the world's changing. And we'll get attention. And when you're talking to your neighbors and they say, well, gosh, what do you think I ought to do? Who are you going to vote for? Just tell them what you've learned here. It don't make no difference who you vote for. If it's one of those two parties, we're going to get what we always got, which is the shaft. And somebody says, well, I can't run because I don't have enough money to campaign. Under this plan, you don't have to have money to campaign. Word of mouth throughout this land, people will pick up the concept. Trust me, they'll pick it up. And they don't need to know who you are running. They need to know who you're not, a Democrat or a Republican. They don't need to know if you're the greatest person that's ever lived, because it don't mean nothing. You'd have to be real bad to be better or worse than what's in there now. Can't you see? Time is now. The American people have never, in years and years and years, been in the moment in time that we are today. Unemployment through the roof, no help coming. Every day you wake up to hear of another plant closing. You hear automobile industries maybe going bankrupt because nobody's got jobs, so they can't buy cars. People, for the first time in 100+ years, know something's not right. People are starting to figure out, as much as they want to support the troops, God bless them, people are starting to figure out something about this war don't make a lot of sense. People are starting to figure out, well, we're spending billions or trillions of dollars on homeland security, but we still got illegal people coming across the border, and there's nothing there to stop them. See, we need to capture this moment. Everything that comes to pass is event-driven. Event-driven. And that's when all the stars line up. And when those stars in the galaxy start lining themselves up, that's the time God gave us where he's given us a warning, and he's saying miracles can happen now. And you say, well, we're looking for a miracle. I believe in miracles. I've spent my life, crazy as it's been, believing in the miracle of right. Maybe I watched too many John Wayne, Roy Rogers movies. Oh, I did wrong, but I did wrong on purpose. But I still believed in right. The miracle of right. And I've seen it in other countries when people are so downtrodden, when they're so hurt, when they have nothing else, nowhere else to go. I've seen them learn about right so hard that they even picked up guns and fought to try to make things right. Well, those days are gone. Don't go buying your old gun and picking it up thinking you're going to fix anything, because you're not. Believe in our elders. When all else fails. My daddy had no education, but he was the smartest man I guess I've ever known. He just had wisdom, common sense, as I'm sure did yours. Your parents. Well, our forefathers saw this day over 200 years ago. And they said, we're going to give you the magic bullet that you can use anytime you want to use it. It's called your vote. We still have that magic bullet. The stars have lined up in the sky. God's reaching down to each one of us right now, and he's got his head right over, kind of like that old commercial, that old cartoon where they had old buzzard sticking over somebody's head and there's a big thumb coming down, going to plunk him in the back of the head. God is telling us right now, I've give you a window. Miracles can happen, just believe. I believe in you. I believe in every one of you out there. And I believe that you won't have to go far within just a few steps where you are. And I believe you'll find something worth fighting for. So for today, let's let that thing we fight for be America. America. Not liberal, not conservative. Don't even mention Democrat or Republican. Don't even mention multinational corporation with all the money. Let it be America. And let's every one of us do our part. And I'll make you a promise. When I go in that booth, if I can find an independent, they got my vote. They will. And if there's not an independent, we're back where we were. Lesser of two evils. Pick it. Flip a coin. But I'll do my part. I've made this production. Albeit a production. But whether you read it, hear it, see it, pass it around. Pass it around. Now, it's a little bit longer than you might think it ought to be. With impending hate crimes, with the Clintons getting ready to get rid of all the people that could stand in the way of Hillary, I figured the best thing I could do is tell you a bunch of stuff all at one sitting, because I might not have another chance. Because one thing is going to happen with Hillary, and she's viewing this just like you are. She's watching it. And Hillary, look in my eyes, baby. Read my lips. You ain't going to get to be president unless you go through me. High noon, baby. One of us going to get out of town. Big words from somebody that doesn't have anything. Well, I'll say this. Ask Bill. Y'all have already been through the turf one time with me. We're going to go again. Now, excuse me, folks. Didn't mean to talk to Hillary right while I'm talking to you. But she's going to watch anyway. I thought I might drop her a little tidbit. Albeit the fact that she's an emotional queer. You know how sometimes queers are emotional. Is that what you want for president? A bull dyke? Some of you are showing this to your kids. I take that back. I don't guess I can take it back, but explain it to your kids yourself however you think it's best. Just remember this, folks. I believe in miracles. I believe that destiny is controlled by those willing to control it. And sometimes there's people willing to control your destiny more than you are. Well, we're going to meet them. They can't lie to you if you won't be lied to. They can't steal your vote if you'll use it and use it wisely. And in closing, how would I sum it up? What word of wisdom could I leave with you? Let me just say this. Whatever you read, whatever you hear from the media or the politicians, believe just the opposite, and you'll make it just fine. Have a good day.